Hey, what's up my friends? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor and I help people navigate through their awakening or their ascension process. Today I'm going to share with you 5 life hacks or lifestyle adjustments that'll help you increase your frequency, raise your vibration, ascend a little bit higher, etc. And all that really means, when I say raise your vibration, that's a popular phrase thrown around. I mean become more in tune and more in harmony with who you actually are inside, underneath the conditioned ego structure that we're all somewhat in the process of shedding. Number 1, and this is a huge one at this unique time in history where everybody is spending a ridiculous amount of their time staring at a small screen. Number 1 is to unplug more. And all you have to do is really start paying attention to how you feel. How do you feel? What's your energy state like when you've been browsing Facebook all day or checking your emails incessantly or just spending a lot of time staring at these high definition screens? It's not very good. I know for me, it's a bit disorienting. I feel disconnected. I feel like my vibration has taken a bit of a plummet, and it can take some time to kind of get back in my zone. But it's somewhat compelling and addicting, all the details and the flashy lights and the people, you know, did they like my post, you know, that kind of thing. I think we'd all be lying if we, you know, it is somewhat of a legitimate, again, it's compelling. It's sort of tough to not do that when you're sitting in the waiting room or bored, but it's become such a ridiculous habit for most of us that you'll find if you can just make yourself unplug more, you will feel a lot better and you will vibrate a lot higher. You'll notice it right away. So the way I personally do this is I try to unplug, where I just turn my phone and computer completely off midday. You have to kind of pick a time that works for you actually. That's when I can do it. And I definitely make sure to not be on electronics, you know, within a couple hours before I go to bed. I sleep more soundly. I just feel better. I feel more in tune. So give that. Number 2 is spend time. Make the time. Schedule in, pencil in the time every day or as often as possible to do what you love to do. I know I work with a lot of people who are painters, and they might not be in a situation where they're like making big money with their painting, and therefore it's easy to sort of conclude that, you know what, this is an inefficient use of my time, I'm not going to do it. But there's always something to do. There's always going to be the day-to-day grind. But when you're doing what you genuinely love, and that's of course going to differ for all of you, you are vibrating really high. You feel good. How do you know you're vibrating high? How do you know, Vic? Because you feel joy, you feel passion, you feel that creative energy. You just feel good, alive. So make time to do activities you love. And when you can start to live in a more higher vibrational state, even though on some level it can seem, wow, me painting this picture isn't going to exactly pay the bills or advance me forward. Yes, it is. Because when you're vibrating at your highest octave, your highest potential, that's when those awesome ideas just pop into your head naturally. But you block yourself off if you're always caught in the day-to-day grind. Number 3 is give yourself a diet check. For most people, myself included, nutrition, eating healthy, etc. That's a work in progress for most people. So what I would suggest you do, being I was a personal trainer, this is always something that's pretty effective, is ask yourself, what is your one thing? What is the one thing you could cut out or modify about your current diet that'll have the greatest impact? And then do that. And that will start you down. That will start to build up momentum, and you can gradually improve your health in a natural way that's sustainable, rather than going on some kind of crazy crash diet for 2 weeks and then binging out because you were depriving yourself too much. Start slow, integrate healthy habits, find your one thing and omit it or modify it or add it in, however that means for you, and you just watch as time goes on. You will find yourself more naturally gravitating towards healthier food items. Anyone who has at least eaten healthy for a span of time knows just how much it affects your energy, how you feel, whether you're clear-headed or in tune and passionate. It can have a significant effect. Number 4 is get your body moving. We live in a very sedentary society. It's very normal to not do any physical activity at all. But that leads to all sorts of problems. Aside from that, if you are to, anyone who's had a hard workout of any kind where you've exerted yourself and challenged yourself physically, how do you feel after? Yeah, it's tough. It kind of sucks while you're doing it for a lot of people, but you feel great. I was a personal trainer, and every day, I worked in the evening time often, and my clients would come in from their stressed out jobs, and they'd come in, they'd be like down and sullen, a little grouchy, and give them 15 minutes of me whooping their ass in the gym, and they were like, their energy changed so much. They were jibber jabbering my ear off. They were excited. They were like in the best mood they probably are all week. And when you're in a good mood, when you're feeling your energy freed up, you're vibrating higher. And exercise is a pretty surefire way to do that. So ask yourself this: what do you love to do the most? Just kidding. Most people don't love any exercise. So throw that notion out the window. Here's the new question: what would you not mind doing that you can realistically sustain? I hate jogging. There's no way on earth, no matter how much you pay me, for me to sustain a jogging routine. I can't stand it. But I happen to like mixed martial arts, kickboxing, powerlifting. Those are the things I do and enjoy. And therefore it's gonna be easier and more realistic for me to sustain them. So find something you don't mind doing. Doesn't have to, it could be anything. Number 5, maybe the most important one of all, is train into your being the attitude of making or of seeing problems as opportunities. It reminds me of a good book I read that essentially covers all the different angles of this fundamental, powerful premise. The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. Awesome book. And it essentially says what I just said. Life is going to continue, always challenge you, always try to stretch you. We're here to grow and to evolve. But it's so tempting, because most people do it, to complain and to feel victimized when problems emerge in our life. But if you can start to really truly understand the truth of the matter, which is that problems are more information, more clarity, more guidance for changes you can make, opportunities that can grow out of them that will improve your life, resulting ultimately in a very positive end effect. If you can become good at turning your problems into opportunities and solutions and blessings, then you will vibrate extremely high. If you read any book about anyone who has been highly influential or successful in any way, they all have the exact same thoughts on the matter, which is that they struggled, they had problems, they had issues. But all those failures were nothing more than temporary setbacks that they learned from, and they credit their abundance of failures for their high rise and their success. So hopefully this video has helped you guys, and I will speak to you next time. Have an amazing day. Namaste.